Okay, so let's get right into this. There's a new factory that just opened up in North Africa, and on the surface, it looks like a pretty standard business deal. But trust me, once you start peeling back the layers, you'll see this is a massive geopolitical move with some really big consequences.
Yeah, what we're really looking at here is so much more than just a company selling armored vehicles. This is about building new friendships, checking old rivals, and quietly but very deliberately redrawing the strategic map. It's a serious chess move on a global board.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Every big power play has a target. So to really figure out who this is all aimed at, we first have to understand the deal itself.
All right, so let's start with the hard facts. What exactly is this new factory? Where is it, and who's behind the whole thing?
So this is the main event right here. Just outside Casablanca, one of India's biggest companies, Tata, opened its very first defense plant outside of India. And this isn't some small experiment, it's a huge statement, and it's already churning out some very serious military hardware.
And the star of the show is this machine, the WAP 8x8. Now, this is not your average troop carrier. We're talking about a high-tech, all-terrain combat vehicle that's fully amphibious. Yep, it swims. It's got a powerful 30mm cannon, and it's already been put through its paces by the Indian Army. This is top-of-the-line stuff ready for a fight.
And what's the initial price tag? $300 million. That's for the first batch of 36 of these vehicles, all heading to the Royal Moroccan Armed Forces. It's a huge investment, and it basically cements this brand new defense partnership between the two countries.
But this all brings up a really big question. Why Morocco? I mean, of all the places in the world, what makes this the perfect spot for India's first foreign defense factory? Well, the answer is all about location, location, location.
You see, Morocco is sitting in this incredible strategic sweet spot. For India, it's the perfect launch pad into Africa's massive $50 billion defense market. But at the same time, it's literally just a stone's throw from Spain, making it a backdoor into Europe that slashes shipping costs and uses trade deals to avoid most tariffs. It's a brilliant two-for-one deal.
And look, it's a fantastic business move, no question. But if you think that's the whole story, you are missing the most critical piece of the puzzle. This factory is part of a much bigger, much more strategic game being played.
Okay, this is where we get to the real motive. To get why India is making this move, you first have to understand Morocco's long and pretty tense relationship with another major player in the region, Turkey.
At the very heart of all this tension is the Western Sahara. For Morocco, this territory is a non-negotiable part of their country. But Turkey? They actively support the independence movement there, even supplying drones and diplomatic cover to Morocco's rivals. So you've got a fundamental clash of national interests right there.
And listen, this is not a new problem. This friction goes back literally centuries, back to when Morocco was one of the only places in the area to hold off the Ottoman Empire. And in just the last few years, it's gotten much, much worse, with Turkey openly backing Morocco's main rival, Algeria, and getting into all sorts of diplomatic fights.
And if you need one number to understand how serious this is, here it is: $2 billion. That's how much worth of arms Turkey has sold to Algeria. They are directly fueling a regional arms race and putting a ton of military pressure right on Morocco's doorstep. This is way beyond a simple disagreement.
And right here, this is where all the pieces click into place for India. Because you know what? India has its own list of problems with Turkey. From their loud criticism over Kashmir to, you guessed it, selling a whole lot of weapons to India's #1 rival, Pakistan. All of a sudden, Morocco's problem starts to look very, very familiar to the folks in New Delhi.
So when you zoom out, you start to see that this factory in Morocco isn't just a one-off business deal. Nope. It's the latest and maybe the most important piece of a much larger grand strategy that's been quietly taking shape for a while now.
Some analysts have started calling it the Mediterranean Axis. Now, this isn't some formal treaty like NATO. It's much more of a flexible, informal network of countries. And what brings them together? They're all being brought into a loose alliance by India, and they all share a common concern about the growing influence of that Turkey, Pakistan, Azerbaijan trio.
Let's just look at the players on the board. India is sending advanced missile systems to Armenia, which has a major conflict with Turkish-backed Azerbaijan. It's running joint military drills with Greece and has signed defense deals with Cyprus, both of whom have huge disputes with Turkey. And now you add Morocco, the brand new link that connects this whole network to the Atlantic.
This quote from a regional analyst just nails it.
This whole strategy is about pushing back, about containing a rival's ambitions, and completely changing the power dynamics of a region, all without ever firing a shot. It's pretty much a masterclass in modern 21st century statecraft.
So what this really suggests is that we could be looking at a whole new blueprint for how geopolitics is done. Maybe we're moving away from these big, formal treaties and into an era of these flexible, quiet partnerships that pop up to balance out a common rival. The big question now is, how well is this new network going to work, and who's going to be the next country to join?